Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Microbial World. In this video, we will be learning about type 3 hypersensitivity in detail. Type 3 hypersensitivity is an immune response that occurs when immune complexes are not effectively cleared from circulation, leading to inflammation and tissue damage. So what are immune complexes? Immune complexes are formed when antigens, that is foreign substances, bind to antibody in the body. So these are antigen-antibody complexes. Sometimes these immune complexes are not properly cleared from the circulation. So these complexes get deposited in tissues, which in turn activates the complement system, recruits inflammatory cells such as neutrophils, macrophages, mast cells or platelets to that site, and results in tissue injury. Now let us look into the mechanism of type 3 hypersensitivity. The first step is the formation of immune complex. Soluble antigens bind to antibodies in circulation. Now these antigens could be of two types: exogenous antigens or endogenous antigens. Exogenous antigens can be bacterial, viral, fungal antigens or any foreign protein from vaccine or serum. Endogenous antigens could be nuclear antigen. Nuclear antigen is any protein or molecule that is found inside the nucleus of a cell which triggers an immune response. So the antibodies, primarily IgG antibody and sometimes IgM antibody, will bind to the soluble antigen in blood or tissue fluids, forming antigen-antibody complexes, which is also called as immune complex. As a result, type 3 hypersensitivity reaction is also known as immune complex mediated hypersensitivity. Normally, these immune complexes are cleared by mononuclear phagocyte system in the liver and spleen. Mononuclear phagocyte system includes macrophages, monocytes, and dendritic cells. So this system removes the antigen-antibody complexes from the circulation. But as we have already said, sometimes this clearance fails. This could be because of various reasons. Excess antigen can lead to small immune complexes that do not bind efficiently to Fc receptors on phagocytes. Another reason could be that the phagocytosis process gets impaired due to genetic or autoimmune factors. And the third reason can be because the complement function gets altered, preventing the immune complex elimination. So if the complexes are not properly cleared, these small and intermediate sized immune complexes can circulate in the bloodstream and get deposited in highly vascularized tissues. If the immune complex gets deposited in the blood vessel wall, it can cause vasculitis. If the deposition occurs in the renal glomeruli, it can result in glomerulonephritis. And if the deposition happens in the synovial membrane, it can result in arthritis. And if it is in the pulmonary alveoli, it can lead to hypersensitivity pneumonitis. As you can see in the figure, immune complex gets deposited in the endothelial cells lining the blood vessels. Once the immune complex gets deposited, it activates the complement system. It leads to the release of anaphylotoxins. Anaphylotoxins are small protein fragments that is produced during the activation of complement system. It triggers inflammation and allergic-like reactions. The main anaphylotoxins that is produced during the activation is C5a and C3a. C5a and C3a increases vascular permeability, enhancing immune complex deposition. C5a is a strong neutrophil chemoattractant and it recruits inflammatory cells to the site. Neutrophil attempts to phagocytose the immune complex, but it fails. Neutrophils release their toxic granules extracellularly. They release lytic enzymes and reactive oxygen species, leading to inflammation and tissue damage. The inflammatory response results in endothelial cell injury, fibrinoid necrosis, and thrombosis. Endothelial cell injury increases vascular permeability, further enhancing the immune complex deposition. Fibrinoid necrosis causes the deposition of fibrin, inflammatory cells, and immune complex in the vessel wall. Thrombosis results in platelet activation and clot formation. Examples of type 3 hypersensitivity. Serum sickness. Serum sickness occurs after injection of foreign proteins, for example, anti-serum or monoclonal antibodies. It results in symptoms such as fever, rash, joint pain, and lymphadenopathy. Arthus reaction causes localized tissue necrosis due to immune complex deposition at the site of antigen injection. It is seen in case of some vaccine reactions and also in hypersensitivity pneumonitis. Systemic lupus erythematosus. It is an autoimmune disease with widespread immune complex deposition in the kidney, joint, and skin. In rheumatoid arthritis, the immune complexes accumulate in the joints, causing chronic inflammation and joint destruction. In post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, it is usually seen after a streptococcal throat or skin infection. And in this disease, the immune complexes deposit in the kidney glomeruli, causing inflammation and kidney dysfunction. Hypersensitivity pneumonitis is also known as farmer's lung. It is caused due to repeated inhalation of organic antigens like moldy hay and bird droppings. It results in immune complex deposition in the lungs. So this is all about type 3 hypersensitivity. I hope that the video was useful for everyone. Do subscribe the channel for more informative videos. Thank you.